husband is way too close to his married girl BFF. I told him to choose between us.
Ultimatums, boo.
My husband and I have been together for more than 5 years and married for 2 years. He has a female friend that he cares for deeply. They have been friends for almost the same time as us being together. By the way, this comes from Virtual Anxiety 4333. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, when we started dating, it wasn't anything serious. They used to hang out together during office hours and office parties. Problems started when he wanted to hang out alone with her. She lived closer to his place, and I lived on the outskirts of the city, so it was a long drive. He would make plans with her in the office, text me about it later after work, and arguments ensued. Why not go to dinner with your friend group? Why only be alone with her? Why would you want to go to the movies alone with her?
Why do you want to kiss her when I'm not there?
Why are you saying her name? Their friendship always gave me weird vibes. Never seemed normal, and she was single with guys hitting on her. They even went on a trip together to attend an important event. Just the two of them. It seemed fishy, but he would always reassure me that they're just good friends and nothing more. That she had been through a lot in life without giving me the details, and he just wanted to be there for her. 1 year of drama, and then she relocated. A year later, she got married, and I felt relieved. But their friendship grew stronger over time. They would text and video call all the time. He talked to her more than me, trusted her more than me, opened up to her, was emotionally vulnerable, which he almost never is with me, shared everything with her. I will never understand their friendship, but it makes me very sus. Why? He always deletes their conversations. That's immediately.
Yeah, that's concerning.
The emotional intimacy they share. Sends her gifts, the only person he sends gifts to apart from me. They have an odd love-hate relationship. There are times when they would argue and stop talking to each other completely. He would never tell me the reason why. Usually it's for a few days, a few weeks at max. Recently, they stopped talking altogether. From being glued to a phone to no message. He would even tell me about women who have shown interest in him, but that's about it. I trust him fully, and even more so because he himself told me about them. But with his BFF, he tells me nothing. Just the constant reassurance that there's nothing more than friendship. Now, I want him to end his friendship with her. Am I overreacting? Could they just be really good friends? And there are some comments, and I'm going to read those before, because there's one from OP. OP says, when I asked him about deleting his conversations, he says he deletes everything and not just the conversations with her. That's weird behavior. Who does that?
Yeah, who deletes all their texts after? You know who does that? Substance dealers.
I don't even know if they're still talking. He does check his phone every now and then. After their long hiatus, they did speak recently, but again, why can't he take calls in my presence? What even is so confidential between them two? He has promised me several times that there's nothing between the two, but I just can't trust his words anymore. Is there a way to retrieve deleted chats? And there are one more comment. Comment 1 says, gosh, sounds like you are the third wheel. Sorry, OP. Why didn't they just get married to each other since they act like it? Is her husband okay with their closeness? Deleting messages looks sus. Why can't a married couple not be best friends? Why can't a married couple not share secrets and stories with each other, but need best friends from the opposite sex? I disagree with that. Get yourself a male best friend and think of yourself. Your husband doesn't. I don't agree with that comment.
Stupid comment.
Is her husband not looking for a female bestie? OP says, I have no idea how much her husband knows. Her husband obviously came much later into the picture, and by then she had already relocated. It's so sad that it makes me laugh. He isn't a bad husband, but he just acts weird around her. And there is an update. But you said you have thoughts.
Usually I'm so supportive around the opposite gender friendships. This one's concerning.
They're hiding so much.
Why are you hiding things? If you're so concerned around your privacy with this friend and you can't let your partner into anything in the relationship of this friendship, that's concerning. And then also, if he's more emotionally revealing with his friend than his own wife, it seems like he's not very revealing with his wife. That's concerning as well. I think people are welcome to have friends, but if, you know, they're intimate than your wife.
And when you have said multiple times, hey, I'm uncomfortable, and he knows you're uncomfortable and does seemingly nothing to alleviate your concerns or your discomfort, but there is an update. Clarifications. They met shortly after my husband and I started dating. No, we don't have kids. She lives far away from us, so they don't meet in person. I'm planning to reach out to her, but not to her husband, at least not yet. Questions I asked him and his responses. 1. How did they become such close friends? Over time, they didn't start on good terms, but as they got to know each other better, their friendship grew stronger. So it was kind of an enemies to lovers kind of situation. What are her secrets? He didn't give me much detail, just that she was /has been depressed and her coping mechanisms weren't very healthy. She's doing much better now. 3, why can't he share things with me? He feels there might be things that could hurt me, and he just wants to protect me. When I asked him, like, what? He deflected, saying it's his dark side, and he's too scared to discuss it with me. His dark side, where he cheats on his wife.
If he can't discuss things he's scared to reveal with his own wife, but he can with the friend
who he has known for basically the same amount. Not like a childhood friend.
Yeah, that's like major crack in foundation of relationship.
Huge crack. 4, has he ever been disloyal? Never. 5, does he feel their friendship is unusual? No. Why did they stop talking? He said he made a rude comment and didn't think she would forgive him. When I asked what he said, he explained it was related to her personal life and that he was being a wienerhead. 7, why are they talking again? They resolved the issue. He apologized for his behavior and they decided to move forward. 8, has there ever been any physical intimacy? No, just hugs, holding hands to comfort her and offering a shoulder to cry on.
You know what they say about shoulder to cry on?
It leads to spicy sleep.
A shoulder to cry on is a wiener to ride on.
He'd also agreed to show me their texts before he deletes them, but of course I wouldn't know if he decides to delete a few here and there. I'm going to ask her the same or similar questions and we'll update later. Update 2. I messaged her. Surprisingly, she responded, but I was not prepared for what she told me. After some small talk, I told her that my husband had mentioned her depression and I wanted to help. She was very furious at first, felt betrayed by my husband for telling me. But then I explained her the situation.
You want to help. That's a lie. Why are you lying to this woman? It's pretty manipulative to say that when it's not true and you're trying to get dirt on your husband.
I told her that he didn't ever give me the details, but I've reached a point where I really need to know what had happened for the sake of our marriage. She told me she was in a very toxic relationship. Her ex mistreated her verbally and physically. He was a manipulative, lying trash. She never spoke about her relationship with anyone, but she used to get mad wasted. One time, they were all out for office dinner. Because she was wasted, my husband and another friend offered to drive her home, since they live close by. My husband, being his cold and distant self, told her to not get wasted if she couldn't handle her liquor. Immediately, she burst into tears, told them she drinks to forget the pain, and told them all about her ex, how that relationship took a toll on her, how she had no support system. She had stopped talking to her friends and family because of her ex. They didn't say much to her then, but were obviously worried. They would check in on her every day, and slowly she also started opening up to them. That's how their friendship started. My husband doesn't know how to comfort people and would say mean things at times. That's why they used to fight a lot. And she moved cities to start a new chapter in life. She, just like my husband, reassured me that there was nothing more than friendship between the two. I then asked her about their last fight. She told me how my husband made a remark on her life choices which upset her, and that's why they stopped talking. I believed her. I thought maybe that's why they wanted to hang out separately and why he maintained all this secrecy. Maybe he just cares for her and wants to make sure she's doing well. I was wrong. I asked her if she ever felt differently about him. She told me yes.
Sheesh.
Yes, there was a time when she started liking him, and not just as a friend, but that was a long time ago. I asked her if he also felt the same, but she said she doesn't know. He is caring and protective of her, and that's all that matters to her. She knew he was with me, so she didn't pursue. I then asked her if there are still any residual feelings. She gave me a very vague response that she's happy in her marriage.
Are you into my husband? I'm happy in mine.
I thought I would be relieved after talking to her, but it made me even more uneasy.
Honestly, I feel more relieved.
I feel a mix. I do believe her, but I think that the husband probably knew that she had feelings for him, or maybe that came up.
He doesn't seem like the most emotionally attuned and mature person.
I feel sorry for everything she's been through, but I still don't fully believe her when she says she never pursued. Caring for someone does not mean talking to them for hours. They may be close friends, but she should confide in her husband now, which she probably does. But my husband being the way he is about her makes me very uncomfortable. I feel like asking my husband to end the friendship would be me being an a-hole, but I want him to be more transparent with me. And there is an update.
Before the update, real quick, it's not going to go well if you ultimatum that.
I mean, like, it's not going to build trust back into your relationship.
If he were to agree with you and stop being friends with his good friend that he's known as long as he's known you, he's just going to resent you.
Yeah, so it doesn't really help anything. So you just need to decide if this is something that you can get over through therapy or having a conversation, like setting up boundaries and stuff. If you can be comfortable through it, like doing therapy together and like having conversations and stuff, or if this is something you're like, I don't think I can ever get over this. Update 3. I had a long talk with my husband. I'm definitely not the a-hole. Also, I wasn't being paranoid. I told him everything she shared with me. I asked him if she had ever told him about her feelings. He said yes, but only after she got married. He's like, no, it's fine because she was already married when she told me she had feelings.
When we had spicy sleep, she was married.
I asked if he had felt the same and why he's so protective of her. Finally, he told me the full story. When they first met, they didn't like each other. But over time, that changed. She started to like him, but kept it to herself. They did have one wasted kiss. They quickly realized it was a mistake, apologized, kept their distance, never spoke about it again. Things were awkward for a while, but after a few months, they were back to normal. She eventually got married. She seemed to be doing well. Then one day, while very wasted, she told him about her dating life. That's when he found out she once had a crush on him, but nothing came of it. I asked him again if he had ever felt the same. I told him that it's all in the past, but we can't move forward unless he's honest with me. She's like, tell me, I won't be mad. He admitted there was a time after we got married when he was confused. He even told her that he might feel more than friendship. He didn't expect anything from her. She didn't take it well. They both dismissed it. They set boundaries. Now they're just good friends. But he never told you. I asked if her husband knows. My husband isn't sure, but her husband definitely dislikes me. He's seen her cry every time they fight. He thinks my husband is bad for her, and that's probably true. I asked my husband why he even married me. He said he loves me and wants to spend his life with me. That brief confusion was just a temporary stupid phase. I asked why he avoids calls in my presence. He said he sometimes steps out to get an outside perspective on our arguments.
Oh, so he's talking
about OP.
Yeah, so the friend has so many more privileges than OP does.
He's also been deleting conversations from his phone, not just with her, with everyone. I told him I don't trust him. I said he needs to be transparent with me to rebuild trust. He insists there's nothing to hide. He even shared his passcode without me asking. He said cutting her off would be hard, but he's willing to try if it proves his loyalty. We set some ground rules for now and have agreed to try couples therapy. And there are some comments and I believe an update. OP in the comment section, these are the ground rules, which we've set. No private calls, just not. Even if it's switching about each other. Nobody deletes any text messages, limiting conversations with her, transparency, no more gifts for her, no more special treatment. If there's something controversial, her husband deserves to know too. Regular counseling, spend more time with each other, no screen locks on phones.
I like these. These feel healthy and these feel like solid agreements to bring back trust.
Exactly. Comment 1, trickle truth. Ugh, it just gets worse. You're better than this. Please just seek therapy because as much as he now says, I bet that's not all. They kissed, they had feelings for each other, and yet he still wanted to maintain a secret relationship with her. Please, it couldn't be me. Even after telling you these small truths, he has the nerve to say it won't be easy. Like, come on, lady, stick up for yourself. And Opie says, yes, I'm furious, but what's another month when I've already invested so many years? If it gets better, great. If it doesn't, at least I wouldn't be a third wheel in my own marriage any longer. And someone replies, you're right, that would make sense. I was just concerned because of all the lies. How would you even know? You know him better than anyone. I did wonder why you've never met any of his coworkers. You don't go to any events or your marriage? That seems odd to me. And Opie says, I'm keeping my expectations very low. He can hide things from me, but what's the point? Why not just leave and be with her if that's what he wants? It's a very good opportunity for him to walk away. Well, we've read a lot of stories where that doesn't happen, where they just keep cheating, like they have the opening to leave and they don't. We have a different group from uni that we usually hang out with. Also, people don't usually bring their SO to these office dinners. It's more of a team building event. And there is an update. Really quick thought. I think, as you said, the ground rules that they're setting are good. And I think as long as both show like that they want, that they're trying to put in the work, then perhaps this relationship can get back to kind of a healthy space.
It seems like you're doing what you got to do to repair the relationship. Also, I would say like an additional thing that could be done is just like creating a space for OP to voice her anger and for you to acknowledge that and to acknowledge, you know, all the ways you've crossed the line and all the ways you've kind of like broken her trust, and to just have that finally be acknowledged so OP could let that go and then be able to move towards a trustful relationship.
But there is an update. I'm done with him. He needs Jesus in his life. Not only has he lied to me, but he's also lied to her. who doesn't want anything to do with him anymore either. I reached out to her again, thought I'd tell her to back off and inform her about the agreement I'd made with my husband, soon to be ex. Turns out it was always him who kept her close and refused to let her go. She told me that after he first opened up about his feelings, they didn't dismiss it right away. She was taken aback.
There was conversations around it.
Because she too had once liked him, it was difficult for her to shut him down immediately. So she didn't say anything, and as always, they pretended nothing had happened. He continued showering her with affection. She asked him to stop, telling him he was putting her in an uncomfortable position.
He was pursuing her. That's what it seems like.
That she loves her husband, and that's enough for her. Things were fine for a few months, but then he started again, showing her how caring he was, making her feel special. He constantly told her that she was the most important person in his life and that he'd never want to lose her.
Most important person in his life.
He repeated this so often, directly and indirectly, that she eventually started to believe him. And when she was fully invested, he told her there couldn't be anything more than friendship with her because he wouldn't cheat on me.
How awful is that? It's like you're pursuing this woman and she's like putting up with it, and then finally she's like open to it and you're like, psych, I'm out.
You thought I was into you? Whoa.
I just wanted to see if I could convince you to be into me.
She realized what a huge mistake she'd made and a wake-up call. She is immensely ashamed of her actions and disappointed in herself. I don't blame her, though. To me, she is a victim, too. He knows how vulnerable she is, and he used it against her. To this day, he tells her the same thing. He loves her, but only as a friend because he's married to me. What a pathetic excuse. Maybe he does care about her and wants the best for her, but his actions are definitely causing her more pain. When she tried to end their friendship, he wouldn't even let her go, saying couldn't live without her, that he feels lonely and lost, and that she's the only good thing that's ever happened to him. He put her through so much, keeping her emotionally stuck and playing with her feelings. The rude remark came when she told him he was going to tell me everything and show all the messages and drama he'd put her through. He threw it back on her, saying she was the one who first admitted she liked him and that he had always been clear they were just friends. He accused her of wanting all or nothing and blaming her for trying to run away just like she always has. You know what? Yeah, I mean, OP told us that he was bad at emotions and was mean. He made cruel comments. And this tracks. They stopped talking after that. Zero contact. But he messaged her again. She told him to stay away from her. But he said he just wanted to apologize and asked if they could start over. He reassured her that he would never repeat his actions. They had been good friends before all this happened, so she agreed to give it another shot. But you should give us many, many shots. Listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app. And there is a little bit more.
I want to hear it, Sophia.
Now that I have reached out to her, she feels she doesn't want any drama in her life. She's happy, and if their friendship is putting my marriage at risk, she's more than willing to back off. I think your friendship ended their marriage. I don't know what he wants in life, but I'm having none of it. I wonder if he was cheating on me with her or cheating on her with me. Oh, whatever it may be, whether he is genuinely confused or he is simply making a fool out of everyone, I don't want to be with someone who isn't in love with me or emotionally invested elsewhere. What did he say when you confronted him with the truth? I am glad you finally got the truth and your mind is clear on what to do. Obi says, he's telling me a lot of things, including, oh, she must have misinterpreted our messages. I've asked her for screenshots. And reply, very cowardly of him. Instead of manning up, he keeps on lying and even throwing her under the bus to save his butt. Let him video call or phone call her on speaker and let him tell her that. Then she can hear his lies as well. And if he calls her a liar, then it makes perfect sense for him to go no contact and vice versa, since his bestie lies. That is the end of the story. There's nothing left. Wow.
I feel scared of this man.
I mean, just like the psychological kind of torment that he's been putting these women through. I mean, the best friend of just constantly going back and forth, of giving affection and then taking it back, trying to convince her that he loves her and then taking it back.
And when she gives him the affection that he wants,
he's like, oh, what are you talking about? You misread that. And then with OP, just lying and lying and lying.
Giving some truth and then taking it back.
But that is the end of that story.
I'm glad you're getting out of that relationship.
Me freaking too.